My name is Taylor Wright. I'm your candidate, and this is my district. I'm running as a Libertarian. That's what I say for every door I knock on. And I've knocked on over 2,000 doors. Those guys right there have gone with me for a significant portion of them and handed out brochures we have, met people, converted people, taught what libertarianism is, because a large part of our population doesn't even know. And I have the podcast and I'm active on that, but genuinely, the education of these ideas will live forever. And meeting people one-to-one, including that lady back there who I know, she's here because over months we've talked ideas, thoughts, and then when people get an orientation to the ideas of freedom, actual freedom with a consistent approach, they will actually acclimate and sometimes join. And so it's an honor to be nominated as the District 4 representative for Congress. I take it very serious. I've canvassed already in almost every city that I represent, from the southern tip of Midville, Sandy, to Riverton, Harriman, Draper, Lehigh, Eagle Mountain, Saratoga Springs. I went down to Richfield and did a radio show for Utah Mid Radio, and then campaigned in all the towns nearby. And it means something to me to talk to people and for me to just be able to share freedom, because my life philosophy is the love and energy we create lives on long after we do. So it doesn't even matter about the external. It's you actualizing your potential to share that, and then that is what will live on. And within that, there are some pragmatic, aspects that I want to do in this campaign. Number one, get on the debate stage with Mike Kennedy. And I'm gonna, no matter what they ask me, every single question, if I get there, I'm gonna turn to him and I'm gonna say, Mike, you swore an oath to the Constitution and you betrayed it and you betrayed us. And they're either gonna quit asking me questions, they're gonna kick me off the debate stage, or it's gonna be the most awkward debate in the history of debates. And I'm going to do it. Every single question, before I say anything, I'm going to turn to him. And at least he'll know, in Utah, we're not dumb. We're not just going to vote for you because you're a Republican or you say something. That we have a high enough intellectual capacity to say, hey man, the Constitution says only Congress can declare war. Our founders had great experiences for centuries with the kings of England, waging war impulsively. And from that hell that they experienced, they were like, no, they made it explicitly clear, only Congress can declare war. And you swore an oath to that. And now here we are. And only Congress can tax. And no matter what they do, Mike Kennedy, no matter what the executive branch does, you will not. It's code red. Once the Constitution is breached, that's why you're there. It's code red. And so that's a pretty big goal of mine, to get on the debate stage and do that. And at least, educate and express, the values of freedom. And then two, I want to get 8 to 10% of the vote in my district. And in very red districts like mine, and mine is as red as there is in the Mountain West, because it starts southern tip of Midville, goes all the way past through Lehigh and down through Joab. In very red districts like that, when a libertarian can get 8 to 10% of the vote the last 25 years, it has made some effect on the Republican Party, because they know there are liberty-leaning people who would vote for you, but your behavior is so egregious, they would rather vote third-party libertarian. And so for me, those are the two main ideas I have. But let me just tell you, so I've knocked on over 2,000 doors. I've had some amazing experiences. I've definitely had people say, hey man, you won my support. I'm going to support you. I've met people that I went and hung out with later on. I love people. I naturally just would just go up and talk to people anyway, wherever I'm at, just because I love learning. I love connecting. I think one of the greatest things in life we have is the ability to just meet people, connect with people. It's an unknown variable, and it's fun. And so I was in South Jordan canvassing, and I'm campaigning, and I'm right near South Jordan Middle School. I just finished work, and I went to a neighborhood when there was a little bit of daylight left. So I had a little bit of daylight. I've got my brochures with me. and I'm going to go canvass. So I'm in sort of a place that is very long driveways, very long. It feels like a little bit like the country. And so I'm walking and I meet a guy, talk to 7, 8, 9 people, have great interactions. A couple people said, yeah, you have my support. And then I come to a really long driveway and I see a guy sitting on the porch. And I always, when I know they see me, I think the worst thing, if we kind of just as a social skill, is when somebody sees you, don't just like duck around or try to just actually acknowledge that they saw you. And so as I maybe was 3 or 4 feet onto his driveway, I said, "How are you, sir? How you doing?" And he looked at me and didn't say anything. And I stopped and to let him know who I was. And I said, "My name's Taylor Wright. I'm running for Congress." And he looked and he kind of looked. He said, "How fast can you run?" And I'm like, "Oh man, this guy I'm excited to talk to this guy. I'm really excited." And because I'm like, okay, this guy has a sense of humor. And I said, "I'm running as a libertarian." And he goes, "I'm about to release this dog and he's going to chase you." And I'm like, and I'm thinking maybe he's messing with me, like he's joking. And then, so I don't move though. And because I don't really, we all follow the non-aggression principle, which is if someone doesn't violate your rights, you don't violate theirs. When we're going on private property, I'm respectful of that. And I said, "Well, I'm just campaigning. I have a constitutional, duty, I think, and a right to just go around and canvass." And he lets the dog loose. So now I've got a dog that's some sort of pit bull, German Shepherd. I don't know what it is, but I know it's running at me. And I'm very close to the road. And so I just kind of step back to the road. And I've got the dog, and I have a little bit of experience with dogs. I used to walk dogs. So, and I love like the Dog Whisperer, the show when I was a young kid, and so I've kind of got the dog, and I'm kind of like, and then he comes running out there too, and I'm like, what is this guy? What is he doing? Like, why is he? And anyway, so I've got the dog. I'm kind of got the dog where he's not biting me. I've got the guy. Now at this point, the cortisol in my body is so high, and I'm in that fight or flight, and I remember thinking to myself, if you'd have told me 1 year ago, I'd be right here right now. And as crazy as that situation was, and it worked out, everything worked out. But the fact is that right there, I couldn't read about that. I couldn't watch that in a movie. I had to live that. And that's sort of the cool part of life. And this for us, at least for me, is the fact that we know that we're living. And we're here today. What an awesome group of people, number one, just to see good human beings who actually exist in the world. This is so enriching for me. But also we get to do stuff. We get to go out and talk to people and canvass and promote our ideas of freedom. And we actually get to live, And that's where we're supposed to be. The universe, God, whatever, aligned for us to all be right here, right now. This is our destiny. It is our destiny. And it's our responsibility. And even when it sucks, when you're tired, just know that you're living, and this is what we're meant to do. And to do this, to be able to connect with you guys and to share freedom, it's such a humble just opportunity for me. I'm speechless. And so thank you for your time, your energy, and thank you. So that's it.